It's got a dog that they drop a napkin or a Kleenex, it doesn't hit the floor. The dog will come flying and eat it. And
yeah. Well, the thing is, they were cute when they were puppies. They were small. But I try to tell my son, Dad gave away huge feet. You know, and then they're not going to get that big. Well, they're right now. If they stand up, they're taller. I'm 5'11", and they're tall as me, if not a little bit taller now. And they're still growing. Anyway, we're going to be back. We're going to have a break here. And then we're going to do more wacky news. And then James is going to talk about, well, some Earth changes, UFOs, stuff like that. And maybe even some ghost hunting stuff. I have no idea. We'll be back in about 3.5 minutes. You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark.
You thirst for some significance of the both dimensional kind. You enter a realm of spirit, of sight and sound and mind. Your radio is a cosmic doorway and your psyche begins to spark. When you tune in to Gary Anderson and Night Dreams After Dark.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com, and thank you. Do you have a paranormal story you want to share on Night Dreams Talk Radio? You could be a guest. Email us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark with our host, Gary Anderson.
And that is me. You know, I've been sick for the last couple of days with a flu. Now, you think that would stop me from coming into the studio and playing around with the gear? I just couldn't resist. Today, you know, I was feeling really lousy, but I just couldn't lay in bed another minute. It was driving me crazy. Even watching TV, I can't really handle too much more than watching Bonanza. And that's about it. And then I decided to come in the studio. And next thing I know, my filing cabinet, which is a wood filing cabinet, is about 3 feet long and about 5.5 feet high. I kind of scooted that into one of the studio. moved my mannequins, my monsters, now are going to be behind me. I rearranged the other day. I had my son, we rearranged one of our camera systems for when we go on another platform to bring our show on. And that's going to happen here the first of the year. I'll let everybody know what it is. It's a nice platform. No, it's not YouTube. No, it's not Facebook Live. And that's not Periscope. But it is a one that a lot of talk shows are on. You can go on to it. It doesn't cost you anything. And I think it's going to be a good, a system for us. So we'll be, doing a show both on the radio, internet, and then live TV. So that's going to be really exciting here starting in the first week of January. And James, you got any interesting stories for us?
Oh, I do. I've got a few that came in. They're not real new, but they're not real old. Some of them's old. I don't know. Do you want cryptids or you want UFOs?
Why don't you do a mixture, my friend?
Okay, I can do that. Let's see. I got one that came in. Okay, here we go. Okay. The first encounter was at Hamlin Beach in Rochester, New York in 1968. The UFO was just hovering over the lake a few miles from shore. This UFO just stayed there for hours. The second UFO I encountered was with my mom in 1980 in Massachusetts. We were walking outside my house, saw a flickering light, looked up, and saw a bell-shaped UFO hovering over our large tree in the backyard. It was emitting a white light on top and a red light on the bottom. When we walked toward this thing, we felt like we were walking in slow motion. We got closer and it went straight up in the air and it disappeared in the blink of an eye. We went back in the house and we had lost about 15 minutes in time. Very odd feeling. Now, there's some of that lost missing time that we see often. And that again, that report came in just last week, but that's bizarre. I got to say, I don't even know how to take that one.
I don't either. Things like that are really strange when it happens.
It is. And, here's another one kind of similar, but a little bit different. When I was young, me and my brother and my dad, we would go coon hunting. And we'd run around all night with the dog coon hunting, as coon hunters do. And one night we seen this orange light way up in the sky, and we thought, oh, wow, that's cool. So we kept on going through the woods, and a little while later, we noticed that it was way on the other end of the woods, following us through the woods. It freaked my dad out, and my dad was wanting us to take cover and hide and all this stuff. But then all of a sudden, before we realized what happened, we were all back at the truck. Like time fell out. Yeah, we were scared. And the one guy asked what the dad thought of it. Well, he told us never to speak of it, never say of it. We were never allowed to watch Star Trek or anything scientific-based, science fiction, nothing like that. Never allowed to watch anything like that. Me and my brother didn't know. We were just doing everything my dad said. Whatever he said we had to do. One time we were in a show, and this one man starts talking about how he's seen this UFO and all this, and my dad keyed up and said, yeah, my God, I seen the same thing. It freaked me out that my dad was saying all this. Totally blew my mind. And right then I realized why my dad never would let us watch that, because it must have been a UFO. And it sounds again like they got some missing time, and that's just a couple stories that have come in. A lot of people, when they experience this, Gary, sometimes they don't come out with this stuff for years later.
Well, a lot of times too, they kind of they're in shock when you see something, be it whatever. Your brain kind of shuts down for a while, and then a lot of people are also still scared to even talk about it. I mean, how many people are going to go, hey, honey, I just saw a UFO today. Yeah, was it green men? I mean, a lot of people, you hold that in. But then sometimes whatever happens might be in your deep brain and not surface for a long period of time. And all of a sudden, poof, something, happens during the day. And all of a sudden you remember what happened.
Yeah, that is so very, very true. You know, a lot of people, again, a lot of people, when it happens, they don't even realize it until, like you just said, something may trigger a memory, and then it all comes flushing out, rushing in, and it's like, wow.
Oh, yeah. What else you got? Anything in Earth Changes or anything in your big file there?
I've got all kind of stuff here. Let me. Oh, here's something. Well, that's kind of more of UFO related, but there was some sheep that got mutilated.
Now, where did these sheep get mutilated at? I mean, in our country, some other country, and was it the same type of symptoms of all like the cattle mutilations?
Well, these sheep, these were English sheep, and English countryside landscape, and they were heinous attacks on flocks of sheep. And the farmers are describing the wounds similar to the infamous cattle mutilation cases in the United States. Now, let's see. One witness said that the sheep were lasered by lights from UFOs, orange lights in the sky. It was also part of a strange mix of circumstances. Now, apparently, an animal pathology team witnessed an attack in November. And one witness described it as more like a Star Wars battle, as these laser lights were coming down and hitting these sheep, mutilate them. And that's all I've got on that so far. But, you know, it makes me kind of wonder, is that same scenario going on here or around the world with other livestock, and it's just not witnessed very often, and you know, these people just kind of got lucky and witnessed it.
I don't know. I've never heard of a mutilation that way. The lights coming down like a Star Wars situation. You know, it's what I always hear these rumors. Oh, it has to be the men in, you know, the black, you know, the black helicopters. This, that. They're doing the mutilations just to confuse, you know, the population. Bull honky. Bull honky.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I don't believe it's like you said. I don't think it's it's not the military. I mean, they could go to Plum Island, probably put a whole. They've got animals there already. They wouldn't have to do that to somebody's livestock. I don't believe that either.
Well, how about humans when they get mutilated? You know, it's always the same thing. Even if it's a cattle or a sheep or a human being, it's all the same type of items that are being mutilated and removed.
It is. There are some patterns going on here. You're absolutely correct. And again, that's all you can. That's what I try to do is find the patterns in this stuff and try to put the evidence together of maybe what's going on. And it's just not. There's not a lot to put together, but there is some patterns. Again, there's certain things missing. Usually, no blood. It's usually precision cut. Usually, no signs of predators, no tracks, and often, you know, predators will. Everything from mice to insects to whatever will eat dead stuff. And that's the weird part. Nothing will eat these dead animals.
Yeah, even insects appear not to, you know, come even near the body. So what's that tell you? If even insects or predators don't want to, you know, migrate to the corpse, I mean, something is up.
It is. I tell you, it makes you wonder what is going on. It's kind of scary if you think about it, because
yeah, it is.
There's obviously no way to stop it. I mean, so what do you do?
I don't know. There is no answer. Something is going on now. You know, the old story is that whatever is doing this is here to help mankind. I don't see how that is mutilating humans or cattle or whatever, you know. What does that have to do with helping mankind? If they're here to help mankind, why aren't they helping us? Why don't they stop the global warming? Why don't they stop Antarctica from melting? Why don't they stop wars? Why don't they stop people dying, you know, of cancer? I mean, come on. Occasionally somebody, I was cured when I was abducted. That's a rare case. How about all these people out here dying with diseases and stuff that if they're here to help us, why aren't they helping us? Why aren't they giving our doctors the capability to cure people?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, these are good questions, and I don't think they can be answered because I don't think they're here they have their own agendas. And the thing is, to throw into that mix, I think there's all different forms of them from all different places. and so they all got their own agendas, and who knows, they may be battling each other.